Hello everybody, and welcome back to Toonkind 12 FPS. Oh no, the cat just walked onto my table just as I was starting the intro. No, off you get. What was I talking about? 12 FPS. Title of today's FPS is Community Foundations. Hello, I'm Fable, and today I am playing the Antlered King, as per usual. And with me today are not one other, but two other fabulous people with me today. If they could introduce themselves.
Hi, my name is Magic. I'm here to play Duster and see the consequences of my actions.
Hi, my name is Trad. I'm playing Maria Dunebarrow. And I don't regret the consequences of our actions.
I actually haven't had too many actions to regret myself in this case, because this FPS is taking place about, let's say, maybe a day or so, possibly even just a couple hours after the events of Magic's fun game where they stole my DM shoes of little corner of little corner, uh, where Antler and Ruby got shrunk and had to get unshrunk, and got to meet a storyboarder's paladin, Moria, who's very cool, and I like this rat a lot. She's very neat. And they also almost got kidnapped by a bigger toon named Smalls, who uh, who sucks. I don't like
Don't
Smalls,
worry about it.
and Antler
That's
does.
the point.
And Antler doesn't like Smalls, and and while he has agreed with Maury and Duster that he will speak with the storyboarders about Smalls, there are a few things that he wants to get out of the way, questions to ask. One for both for the community of tinies that will be getting built in love the baby dragon's cave, which is literally a part of the, maybe not directly connected, but still part of the Ruindall Castle. That's going to get built, in his house. So he needs to, we need to figure out logistics before anything.
Tenant rules.
Yeah, tenant rules, all that jazz. And hey, he wants to know more about Smalls because hey, he needs to he needs to go let the captain of the guard know that hey, someone tried to kidnap me. Make sure they're not allowed in town ever again. That kind of stuff. So so I imagine this FPS taking place where being in probably in Antler's room, uh, because he doesn't have an official like meeting room set up just yet. So his room works best because there's a table for the two rats to sit on and a chair for him to sit on, so that way they're more or less at eye level, more or less.
Yeah. Gosh, your castle doesn't have a conference room? That's cringe, bro.
He only recently, listen. It's just been recently. He's had other things to work on, and he'll admit it's something he has every intention of getting. It's just a case of priorities, and conference room is just not on top of his priority list at the moment.
That's fair.
So then, how
So
how
rats.
how are the
How do you
rats?
think? How do you think Antler did Antler call him up on Duster's stone again? It's just like,
He probably communicated. He probably called Duster through the Standy Speaky stones, which are basically like little handheld radio versions of Stones of Far Speech
mhm.
that I got
Just,
for the Rambles players.
just very fun because Duster's is literally just like a full rock size.
Yeah. I listen. At some point, I will spend a day just to shrink that so that way it's handheld size for Duster. I feel like it's not fair that he has to keep lugging around this rock.
It's Hammer's face. It's fine.
I know, but when he has to like take it out, it's like that's cumbersome.
But it's funny.
It
It's
it
funny.
is it is funny, but also I want to be nice to the rat because I like the rat and the rat deserves a break.
He does. We're really not giving it to him though.
Mm-mm. Especially not now because hey Duster, you have been basically given lead on this I guess project
Yeah.
responsibility, pretty much, because in Antler's mind, it's like, hey, Duster is a tiny. He works with more tinies than I do. It makes sense to delegate this responsibility to him. This is the logic of This is the pragmatic logic that Antler has come to.
Oh, what a beautiful conclusion to come to with Duster, who
Yeah.
hasn't had any main contact in years. Duster doesn't know what he's doing, is very nervous about it, and doesn't even know where to start, but also, asking questions. No thanks. Uh,
Moria
yeah.
has a lot of questions, but probably none of them are the questions that Duster wants answers to.
Oh god.
So, bit of a
Yeah.
trade there.
Who are these questions for?
Oh, Antler. Who else?
Oh well,
The
if she has questions, Antler is will he's been pretty willing so far, and now that he's I mean he's not one to really he tries not to go back on his word, so he is more or less committed to allowing sanctuary to Tiny. So if you've got questions for him, he will answer them
Mm-hmm.
We're all sitting in a meeting room, or at least a table.
at a table. Yeah,
At a table.
there are not a lot of papers. There's actually any paper that's out is blank paper with an inkwell and a feather pen, because you never go to a meeting unless you have something to write with, either just to write things down to remember later, or if you want to like write an agreement on something on short notice.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the table itself is fairly cleared off for Moria and Duster to walk on.
I think at this point, Duster is just waiting for either Moria or Antler to speak first because, uh, they're talking about Smalls things, and Duster has met Smalls a total of 2 times now, um, both of which did not end well, uh, mostly for Smalls. Anyway,
Hmm. Actually,
yeah.
it's a good thing you brought up Smalls because I think that's what Antler would start with before logistic community stuff. He will so to start to start this off, I would like to ask a few questions about this Smalls character.
Uh,
All right then. Go on. I can't promise I'll answer them.
Just how long has she been a problem to you, Tinies?
Hmm. How long? How long? Let's see if it was before that, and then I'm old. Uh, at least 12 years now, probably closer to 15 since she started her spiral, and she shows no signs of stopping anytime soon.
A long-term problem then.
Yes, indeed.
And one I imagine you would have dealt with long ago if capable.
Yes. Don't get any ideas. If we could have dealt with Smalls, we would have done so a very long time ago.
Do you imagine another big would have more success in the matter?
Big's far more virtuous than yourself have tried. She's as cunning as she is cruel, and has learned very well every lesson we've managed to dish out.
Hmm.
She's protected herself well against tinies and bigs alike. She's got extensive underground connections with less than legal or moral business ventures, and well, she's basically made herself untouchable to us over time, which makes it rather impressive, Duster. I am very you did manage to bite her. That is quite fantastic. I
uh,
would like to hear that story sometime.
uh, uh,
Hmm.
I, I was sleeping in a tree. She grabbed me. I panicked. I bit her. She threw me, and yeah, that was about it.
Hmm.
Nice.
So for what I'm gathering, underestimating this one will be unwise, as would be trying to take the fight to her. Hmm.
We haven't been able to reach her island in quite a while. Most of our raids, we're not even able to get on nowadays.
She has an island.
Yes,
Hmm. I don't suppose you'd be
where
willing to share the information of where that is.
absolutely not.
Hmm. No, I thought not. Well, it's not as though I currently do not have the resources to go after her myself. Best I am able to do at the moment is to keep her out of this town, at the very least.
What is your stake in all of this?
Hmm? My stake. My stake is to become king of Inkwell. To do that, I need allies, and it's not easy to do when with people such as Smalls out and about.
She makes a powerful ally.
She makes it. She makes a wild card that I do not have the patience to predict at the moment.
Hmm,
She's a time bomb, and I do not work well with time bombs. They tend to blow up in your face.
indeed. You want to be king of Einquell.
Yes, I understand that means very little to you.
It means little to some people.
Hmm.
Do you wish to be king of everyone, bigs and tinies?
I would not be opposed, but seeing as most tinies I have met so far do not seem to understand monarchies, it would matter little to them whether I rule or someone else does.
You bigs are always focused on all your problems.
As you tinies are focused on yours.
Yes, you tend to make up yours yourselves, though.
Hmm. That I cannot argue with. However, this does not change what I want.
Do you intend to rule the tinies that you have living here?
If they wish to be ruled, I will not object. But as I've stated before, what I have offered to any tiny that comes here is sanctuary, and only that.
Mm,
If I think to change that, I will come to the tinies directly as an offer.
mm. You are a strange king.
You are not the first person to tell me that. And Antler actually looks a bit amused at you telling him that.
How in the world did you find yourself in the employment of this individual, Duster?
Uh, well, uh, it it just kind of happened. Uh, Duster, look, hmm. Duster looks kind of tired. He's just kind of sitting on the table listening to you guys talk because honestly, uh, this man does not have an amazing wisdom, or not wisdom, but an amazing intelligence. Not amazing, but
Oh shit.
you know, just
Was
listening.
I just rolled a 24 insight for Antler.
Oh God.
I was not expecting to get a good roll. I was just like Antler is just kind of glancing at the rat just to see what the input is from Duster.
Uh, honestly, with both those roles, Duster isn't quite sure how he got here either. But this is just kind of where he is now. he's just, I will say with a 24, Duster's just kind of very tired about thinking about it. Because this rat has definitely thought about how have I gotten here many times before, and probably cannot quite pinpoint where it kind of spiraled into this.
Well, while I will admit Duster's employment, the means of which was not conventional, I I must admit his service has been invaluable to me thus far.
Mm. He does. You are very capable in battle, young Daster.
Hmm.
Duster's ears kind of like do a perk up because praise, and does that like scratch behind the neck, look away sort of look because yeah.
Bashful rat.
However, back to the subject of Smalls. Whatever information you can give me of her, I would appreciate.
Mm. When we have meetings with the other storyboarders, we will decide what it is we wish to divulge and what it is we wish to avoid mentioning.
Hmm. Very well. Now,
Don't want you giving any ideas now.
and what ideas would that be?
Oh, there's any number of ideas that you could have.
Hmm.
I'm not terribly fond of most of them.
No, I imagine not. And whatever you're thinking of, I'm probably capable of. However, if you are worried about me being a threat, I can assure you, once I am a threat, you will know. But that is for later. For now, and he will reach over and slide one of the blank papers and an inkwell and feather pen. In terms of this community you wish to build in the cave,
I'm not really sure I wish to build any community where big sir.
sanctuary, then. Either way, you will be using it.
Yes.
There are some terms I would like to lay down if there are going to be tinies roaming my castle.
Ah. Well then. Give give them here, why don't you?
Well, for starters, you should be aware that I do plan to expand my work, which means I will be having eventual staff of bigs in this castle, which means that main areas of such will not be available to tinies, or at the very least should be avoided by them if they still wish to not be seen.
Hmm. Just how busy do you plan to make this place?
Have you ever been inside of a fully working castle before?
Not conventionally,
Hmm.
no.
Considering I plan to make this my capital of my kingdom, it will be busy, to say the least.
If that is the case, then how do you plan on keeping any tinies from being noticed?
Hmm.
Keeping this community secret will be paramount.
At this, Antler's gonna look at Duster. While I cer-
Morio will follow Antler's gaze also to Duster.
while I certainly know many ways of keeping secrets, I would think the people who have been hidden for so long would know the best way to stay hidden. So, Duster, what would you recommend be the best way for tinies to remain hidden in this castle, out of sight? The,
uh,
the cave is already blocked off from the main areas. However, noise may be a problem.
uh, you put Duster on the spot. You put me on the spot. Hello, hi.
Imagine.
Hi. Uh, Duster kind of uh takes a moment, processes information. Uh, so keep out of areas. Take note what things make noise, what things don't make noise. Memorize patterns. And Duster is Hmm. If you want to roll another insight on Duster, you can,
All right.
if you'd like to.
Both 16.
16, only 16. 16 so pretty good. Duster is attempting to remember, uh, like probably what the answer to this question should be.
Hmm.
Uh,
Antler's going to reach over to the paper and write down and just write start taking he'll just start taking notes.
uh, there's also soundproofing methods. Uh,
We could get wards for those.
yeah. Um,
How much of this are you intending to supply?
As much as I am able, which at the moment you should know is not much, but come time I should have more available to me.
Of course, Your Highness.
Antler will raise a brow at that, and I'm just gonna roll insight to see if that was mocking or not. 15, was that mocking?
It certainly wasn't reverent.
If you didn't think, yeah, he didn't think so.
okay. If we keep the main entrance to the place small enough, it should not be accessible to most bigs. Uh,
Tinies may be small, but they cannot live their entire lives inside of a cage, or a cave in this sense, in this
uh,
instance.
there are other exits to the main cave, to the forest outside. We could probably build it closer to there.
Hmm. Would there be any way that you would be able to ensure that there is not excessive big activity in those areas?
Uh, I mean, most of it's to the cliffs above. I don't know how many people would want to scale those.
Antler's going to stand up from the table the moment thinking, and he's going to go over to a bookshelf and pull out a scroll, a blue scroll, and go back over to the table and unroll it. And it's basically the blueprints the renovators had mocked up of when they were fixing up the castle. Since there is no actual living there's no actual old scrolls of what the castle once was. This is how renovated castle, more or less a map.
Castle 2.
Castle 2, Castle 2.0. Uh, well, let's see. Da, 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 da.
Is there
Here we are.
anything on them that that Moria would notice or that she could roll to notice, or is it just hi? These are blueprints.
It's hi. These are blueprints.
Cool.
I'm not making you roll for them. I don't feel like being mean.
Yeah, it's valid.
In terms of how the castle is built in relation to the relation to the tunnels, Duster, you would know this. Duster, you would know this already, as you have explored said tunnels of Love's Cave, as some of those tunnels are love sized for when Love goes out into the forest, and some are more you tiny sized. Uh, Essentially, that there are some tunnels that go up above to the top of the cliff, other tunnels that go through the side of the cliff into the forest. The ones that go up, however, there are some built. There is part of the castle that's built up there, so for places for bigs to walk about.
Hmm.
So that is a possible red zone. However, since you have been up there on the cliff before, you would also note that there is a lot of heavy underbrush to keep tinies out of sight.
Hmm. So, okay. So the top entrances, if we do want to use those ones, we could probably cover them up. It's a little heavily wooded up there. Uh, still need to make entrances for Love, so they can just probably do some sort of trapdoor? Trapdoors are fun.
The dragon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, have they had the conversation about the dragon yet?
Probably not.
No, they haven't. Okay.
Just ignoring the elephant-sized dragon in the room.
Actually, the size of a large crocodile, but who's keeping track?
They're very small.
Yep, and upon the noting of the mentioning of the dragon, Antler kind of just like, yeah, dragon.
Yeah.
The thing he can't really make use of, but can't really get rid of, without losing a good employee. Antler has mixed feelings about the dragon, but for different reasons.
Alright, Moria says, we can probably plant more underbrush cover too if we need to. Tunnels through the brush. Make sure there's covered areas for people.
And by the time I have guards that will have patrols, they will not be required to go through thick underbrush. So you should not have Big stumping that area of your choosing. That is.
Once that does come about, you will be giving a schedule of the guards patrol routes. Yes.
As long as you can ensure those schedules do not make it outside of your knowledge. I do not need guard schedules getting out about town.
That is fair. But others will need to know of it as well. Perhaps we might be able to find some compromise about the schedules or near the cliffs that would be otherwise inaccessible.
I believe we can discuss that when we get to that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
As for the dragon, have you spoken to the dragon about your plans to use the cave?
I feel like Duster has like mentioned they may be getting some, permanent visitors. I how much? Yeah, Duster would probably tell Love that yeah, more people may be staying here. Probably not exactly like in the middle near all the dragon bones, but just in the area.
Okay. Love is probably a bit cautious because strangers. But if it's strangers that Duster trusts, then Love will be willing to give these people a sniff and see if they pass their smell test.
Has Moria heard Love talk yet? Like,
Yeah, have Love and Moria met?
I
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know that they've officially met because I know for sure, like, basically the night after Little Corner of Little Corner, when Moria was like, "I'm not going to leave this rat alone," and then they went into Duster's room, and there was just this dragon, and then Duster just immediately passed out on top of the dragon.
Yeah.
We don't have time to unpack all that right now.
don't have time to unpack all of that right
It's been
now.
a long enough day as it is. I think it's just been something that's just like it's definitely a thing.
I don't. All right. This is totally a Duster thing to do. I don't think they've officially met, but they've like seen each other in passing. Honestly.
God.
Staring at each other from across the room.
Basically.
Oh,
And Duster's just there. It's like
Yeah, Love sees strangers but sticks close to Duster because Duster is safe.
Moria sees Duster's with a dragon basically glued to him is just like, I don't know what to do about this.
Boy.
Not in my training.
Boy, Moria, you and Antler both don't know what to do about that.
I don't think, because like love, I feel like love would, be more reserved around strangers, so they probably wouldn't have said anything
No.
within Moria's range of hearing.
No, I don't think they would have.
So in that case, Moria's gonna say, talk to the dragon.
Antler.
Uh, yeah.
Uh-huh. All right.
uh, the
Perhaps before we continue this conversation, you should go make that introduction first. Seeing as this affects the dragon, possibly much more than I. Possibly. With that, Antler's gonna start scrolling up the blueprints to put them back on the shelf.
Oh, God. Is there even an entrance for like Antler to enter the cave through?
For Antler, no. He when
That
he had had the entrance, the original entrance shut off. He did not want this dragon getting in at all. And Love's been getting in through the underground river.
yeah. Uh
So there's
well,
yeah. So the only way in is probably like a tiny way in.
I was going to invite Antler, but that seems to be out of the question.
Yeah, and I don't think Antler wants to. I'm sorry, Duster.
That is. Oh, go on.
no, go ahead.
Oh, like that is a good point. Well, either like they already discussed it, Moria probably would have asked about like other entrances to the cave and stuff like that, because if they got to worry about some airheaded spelunker just like waltzing in, we have to kidnap them now. Sorry.
I mean, I does Antler hear Moria say that?
um. Yeah, she probably says something along the lines of like, how accessible is this cave to anyone, really? We don't need some airheaded spelunker stumbling upon our community. I'd rather keep necessary kidnappings to a minimum.
Well, well, since I moved in here, there have been less and less people trying to make their way into the castle, at least. So I would not think.
Once, oh yeah, go ahead.
No, go on.
Once you set yourself up as king, I imagine more people will be more curious.
Perhaps, but I doubt. But I doubt there would be many spelunkers.
Yes, but there will be assassins.
Assassins that will likely be coming from me.
To kill yourself. I did not hear that well. Oh,
Wait,
am I
what?
dead?
Wait, what was she? Wait, what was Moria saying?
I said I heard assassins that will likely be coming from myself, and I realized like
No.
30 seconds later, probably 4.
No. I said no. Yeah, I said 4. I said 4.
Yeah. That makes sense.
And then Moria said that, and I was just like, wait, what? Did I misunderstand?
I misunderstood. That's my bad. It's been a long day.
Sorry.
Yeah, it says, but they will words. Okay, hi, hello.
Take your time.
It may be of small consequence to bigs, but and individuals seeking to reach their big goals, but many are very willing to trample tinies underfoot to reach where it is they are trying to go. If this community is going to be connected to your castle in any way,
there is always going to be the possibility that someone will try to gain entrance to it in order to gain entrance to your castle.
Well, if your concern is people gaining entrance to the tunnels, I see no one better to ask than the dragon.
I suppose. I.
The dragon was living here far before I came. They would have better understanding of of any tunnel networks that may be in the ground.
And if it does make you feel any better, Antler did collapse the one main entrance to that cave, so it's not really big accessible anymore.
Hmm.
That's definitely ideal. Is the dragon. Would they be forthcoming with this information?
Antler looks at Duster.
Uh,
Antler doesn't
Duster,
know.
Duster, Duster doesn't. I would say Duster like, uh, words. Uh, Duster just kind of like gives a shrug and said, "I don't see why not."
Hmm. All right.
I'm gonna roll an insight on Moria. That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is Duster gonna roll?
I can roll an insight. I don't know what we're rolling insight for, but I can roll an insight. What's my insight? I haven't rolled yet. I don't think so, anyway.
No.
What's my insight? 16.
Yeah. 16, Duster, you definitely know that Moria doesn't really know what to make of the dragon. There's just a dragon here. That was not a high on the list of things she was anticipating this anxious disaster rat man to just have in his back pocket. And Antler, I think you can tell she's like, we have other things to focus on right now. The dragon doesn't seem to be a problem, so we can deal with that later, probably. Um, just like, yeah, the dragon is definitely here.
In that
The
case,
dragon's definitely here.
okay. In that case, Antler's gonna turn to Duster and simply say, "Well, then I would say one of your first orders of business will be to introduce Moria and whatever other tinies you deem necessary to love. Love, yes, that's their name.
Yeah, that's their name.
How much of a concern is love in regards to other tinies?
I've been teaching Love about how to be, more gentle with small things. Uh, Mostly my items. I wasn't anticipating anyone living here. Uh, but, it should be fine.
All right.
I can't say anything as Antler because Antler's not been a part of the I was about to say the love process, but that was gonna sound weird. Uh,
Yeah, kind of so.
all the things I had to name this dragon had to be love, and
Look, I asked for a name. You gave me one. Duster's not going to change it.
that's true. And I panicked. No, I came up with a name in blind panic because I was like, "Oh shit, I wasn't expecting a name asked." Anyways,
His name is Duster. He knows people named after objects. There's a storyboarder named Potato Chip. He's not going to question this.
you know what? That's fair. That's very fair. But in terms, I can't say Antler can't say anything. But I guess yeah, to Duster, at least as me, Fable can say, who also plays Love the dragon, that Love has actually been pretty good about learning to be gentle with time. Tinies. I mean, they've been very good being able to carry Duster around and give Duster, because they still like giving Duster little pets on the head
Yeah.
and giving him nuzzles. So they've been pretty good about being gentle with small things.
Yeah.
So
Duster's just not the most convincing person at all for anything.
yeah.
Hmm.
All right then.
Moria would ask a question, but I also don't want to like necessarily like derail the FPS. I'm
I really want to know what it is now, though.
I kind of want to know it too.
uh Moria would ask how Ruby's doing because I don't think that she's seen her since.
Oh.
Yeah.
If she
Yeah.
asks that, you're gonna need to roll insight on Antler.
All
No,
right.
let's roll an
I think
insight
she would
on
definitely
Antler.
need to roll insight because of how she would phrase it. So yeah. All right. So if that's your blessing to ask that question.
Yeah, it is. It is. Please ask the
Cool.
question.
Cool. Antler, how is your ward?
My what?
Your ward. The red child, Ruby.
For starters, she is not my ward. She's an employee, as is Duster. As for how she has been, she's. I have told her she is to remain in the castle for the time being, at least for the week, to stay out of trouble. Were those your? Was that 23 and 16 an insight roll?
Yep.
Cool. Cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's enough.
23.
Yeah. Uh, yeah, so at the at the mention of calling Ruby his ward, Antler's ears perked up and his eyes looked wide for a second, possibly in both confusion and the closest thing I think this guy is capable to panic. I don't think it was panic, but it's damn well close to that expression.
Is it like being baffled?
Yeah, it's more it's
Baffled?
possibly baffled. But then in answering the question, he actually looks away. One of his ears twitch. He's he's not sure how Ruby is, and not being sure doesn't seem to sit is not a thing that sits right with him in concerns to Ruby. But that is all he's willing to say on it.
Oh my gosh. Your employee,
Yes.
but a child.
Yes, I am aware of that. And yes, I understand in this time, children working is apparently frowned upon.
How
You'll have to.
I want to know the situations in which you came across that your
I came across Ruby.
with a child and a tiny.
I came across Ruby and Duster on the same day. They happened to walk. They happened to walk into these ruins when I was already here.
Colin was also here.
Yes, the bird was also here. Thank you, Duster, for reminding me.
I'm sorry, me Magic had to mention that because I knew that would be the reaction.
Oh, it's very good.
I was in a place where I needed where I needed resources and people to work under me. They showed themselves to be capable, so I made an offer and they accepted.
All right. All right. You bigs and your big ideas and problems.
You sound as though you have an opinion to share on the matter.
Perhaps. But I might not share it with you.
I would be most interested if you did.
Nothing I haven't already said. Bigs are always focused on these things which ultimately are unconsequential.
Perhaps to you, but not to me.
Perhaps.
Is there anything else you would like to discuss?
I believe the rest of our team will be better prepared with questions than I. I haven't actually trained as a resident as of yet, so Cerule will have a better understanding of how to go about this process.
Very well. And what of you, Duster? Have you anything to add?
Would you like to roll an insight?
Again? Alright. Where's your insight? There it is. 9. Oh, come on, Antler. What? You were rolling so good.
Alright, Antler, this rat just looks nervous as usual. You know. Moria, Duster doesn't even know where to start, honestly. He hasn't done this. He hasn't done this. He hasn't. Oh God, I could give you a lot with a 25 because you're a tiny. Oh boy.
Yeah.
You have a feeling he hasn't done anything community related in a very long time. So
There is this, like, there's just this look of, like, dawning realization on Moria's face.
Oh, man.
And she puts her head in her hand.
I'm gonna roll insight on Moria. Because I'm not satisfied with that 9.
That's
22
Tyler.
on Moria.
Moria has just realized something about Duster, in regards to building a tiny community and living with people.
Antler sees that after he is asked for Duster's opinion, and he will say in response to seeing Moria's reaction, to you do not think he has something to say, what to add?
Duster,
yeah.
when was the last time before this time, you interacted with others of our size?
Like constantly or in passing?
To the extent that a community would imply.
Duster pauses. Uh, uh, does he does like his ear kind of does a twitch, and he kind of like mutters some words to himself with like a little considering look on his face. It kind of like his face also kind of like screws up a little, so he does a little nose scrunch and just
Horrible.
it's been around 10, 11 years?
At that, Antler looks at Duster.
Yeah, Antler, you hear Moria, you hear like some sort of like weird squeaky noise that you can't decipher. It sounds vaguely like Grolix, but also you can't make it out. Duster, yeah, Moria just freaking like swore in squeak speech.
Duster kind of like grimaces at that and just his ears go down again because
Yeah, Antler brings up a hand to pinch at his nose, and ear twitches slightly.
Gosh,
Annoyed.
Moria and Antler are basically in the same pose right now.
Oh my god. Before Antler just wipes his face and goes, Duster, you did not think to mention this when I gave you this responsibility.
What was I supposed to say?
You could have said, no, I'm not capable of doing this, for starters.
Well, just because I'm not capable doesn't mean I don't want to.
Moria's gonna roll insight on that. 18.
What would you like to know?
That, Duster reportedly hasn't been around other tinies for a very long time, but also he just accepted the responsibility of managing, like, basically creating an entire community sanctuary of tinies, which is very interaction heavy. Like, what were the, like, possibly, like, what those two don't match up to Moria, and she's trying to figure out how they coexist.
Okay, so Moria. Duster has reportedly been interacting a lot with the cobbler tinies.
Mm-hmm.
Though he has notably, even when they have like offered for him to be a part of the community, he's said no. He's not officially a part of the cobbler's tiny community, even though he does visit a lot. And it's, you know about the dragon now. It's probably because of the dragon he stays here. Because of the dragon. Probably maybe because of like the other people here as well. But with an 18, honestly, Moria, he might just be lonely.
Oh my god. Antler's sorry, I'm just thinking of Antler's thought process while thinking about this, because in his mind, he's just, why has this rat off? There's a difference. Wanting to, sure, but if you're not capable of to, okay, actually, I'm just gonna say it as Antler, because he would say it, because he's blunt like that.
Valid.
Duster, wanting to is all well and good, and I appreciate the fact that you are motivated, but if you do not even know where to start, there is already a problem.
Well, I can figure it out.
How?
Time, improv.
Improv. Oh dear.
And we have resources as well. This would not be the first time storyboarders have done something of this vein. And as I said, I am not trained as a resident, but I imagine I will very quickly be doing so.
I think I would like to speak with the storyboarders sooner rather than later about this. And Duster, improv improv does well in some cases, but in a situation like this, it is better for people with experience to be handling these situations. So,
Duster's
and I'm
ears
gonna
flick down again.
I'm gonna flip a coin.
How does Okay, how does Duster seem to be taking this? Like, is he disappointed that he's like it's low key starting to sound like Antlers say, or like, hey, maybe you aren't going to be the one in charge of this or involved with this.
That's
Should I roll another insight to see how Duster's maybe taking that?
I kind of don't want you to, because he's, especially at such like a scale, he's probably not masking it overly well.
Plus, Antler hasn't finished talking.
Okay,
He's
yeah.
let there be a brief pause just so it lets it sink in that yeah, Duster, you building a community, you need to actually know, you need to know things about said community, and building a community, resources, knowing what people to go to, and so forth. And while Antler doesn't know the specifics of those people, he at the very least knows. He knows the structure of building a community. So, with all that in mind, Antler is going to sigh very deeply and pinch his nose again, ear flick once more, and say, "I had intended to. Had intended to leave this to you, Duster, but and I still intend to leave it to you. However, should there be situations or concerns that you do not know how to handle, you will come to me for advice on the matter. Is that understood?"
Uh, uh, I will say Duster's ears like had gone down when like that original thing of you don't know what you're doing had sort of come across him, but they have like flicked back upwards at the you know, advice part. Uh
And Antler raises hand again. I I am not I am not taking responsibility of this. Understand? I am not a tiny, so having me be in charge of this would be unwise. So whatever happens is still your responsibility. Are you all
I
are you okay with accepting that?
yes.
And Antlers, I'm gonna roll insight again. 14.
What would you like to know?
Just how serious Duster was. Is that an answer that Duster is not just saying, or is it an answer that Duster means?
It's even with a 14, it's an answer that Duster means.
Antler will stare at Duster for a good moment, studying before he nods. Very well. Then he'll look at Moria and see what she has to say.
I also vowed to provide support to Duster in this endeavor.
Mm-hmm.
I will do so in any way I can. However, that will likely mean I will need to take up residence here, at least until some manner of living space in the cave has been completed.
Mm-hmm. Well, at the moment, there is no shortages of nooks and crannies you could find.
Hmm. Are you fine with me sharing space with you then, Duster?
Uh, I'm 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 fine with it.
All
Uh,
right.
Well then.
I trust Duster knows your preferences about Tiny's existences in your castle.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I've gone over with Duster of where I prefer people. At least smaller ones.
Understood.
Well, if there is nothing else, I think that is the best place to put it for now. Until I can speak with the storyboarders.
Yes. We are ready to, at your earliest convenience, we are very ready to meet with you.
Mm,
There's much to discuss.
there is. I will have business in town, however, during the week. So perhaps the week after we can arrange something.
Hmm. That will also give us time to get in contact with the Abbey. This was not the outcome we anticipated from this endeavor.
Consider considering how no. I understand. I think I can imagine what outcome you were expecting.
Well, I am here after all.
Hmm. Well then. And I can't think of anything else to add. Unless there's something you guys want to go over.
I mean, do do we want to do a a let's address the dragon in the room real quick?
Yeah.
It's
Do you
been
want?
an hour.
Yeah. Yeah. We're at an hour mark. If we want to do just like a quick love intro, I can see that
Yeah.
taking maybe like another half hour at most.
Yeah.
Again.
It's like love Fable, you're already here.
I am. I'm already here. I just gotta take a sip of water and
Oh
and
god.
I'm ready.
Yeah, so I think after like their conversation with Duster, not Duster, with Antler, Moria and Duster kind of go off, like, go off back to Tiny's things. I think Moria will say, Duster, if I am to be living here with you, I would appreciate some sort of introduction, and I will not burden you now with the expectance of an explanation, but I would like one at some point.
Uh, God.
Duster.
Do you mean like introduction to love?
Yes, to love. Is that their name?
Yes.
Good name.
It is a good name. Yeah, we can do that.
All right. Just Duster.
Yeah.
Duster, that is a dragon.
Yeah.
Hey, so real quick, I just want to say quick fun thing. Because
Yeah.
I'm imagining this conversation happening as you're going through one of the tiny tunnels to the
Yes.
cave, toward
Yeah.
the cave. Hey, Duster, you want to roll perception?
Oh no!
Actually, you
Why
can.
do you do
I mean,
this?
you can both roll perception. It's a fun. It's a funny thing. It's a funny thing. It is rule of funny.
No high rolls.
I mean, hey, it's above a 10.
Okay.
It's above a 10. This did not need a high roll. Because it's pretty obvious to note. Even like you guys both got both have night vision. You can see in the dark.
Moria does not have night vision, she has blind sight. So anything within
Okay. Okay. In that case, Duster, you would notice right away as you're walking down the tunnel that it's not getting lighter. Like usually, these tunnels are dark no matter what, but usually when you get closer to Love's Cave through the tunnel, it starts getting brighter. It's not for some reason.
Oh.
However, Moria, with your blind sight, you would note that there is something very big in front of at the end of the tunnel. Something that is sniffing very curiously.
With that 14, would Moria know it's the dragon?
Probably. You'd probably
Okay.
note that it is a dragon snoot in front of the tunnel.
Okay, she
Sniffing
will not
curiously.
pull out her sword and shield then.
Oh boy.
Um,
I do think if Duster like is noticing the tunnel isn't getting brighter, that is kind of a cause for concern. So I do think he would have started walking faster, not noticing that Love was actually sniffing the tunnel.
I think Moria say Duster, and she like as she's sort of trotting to keep pace with Duster because Duster is taller than her by a good like 3 inches. Duster. And she will gesture towards the tunnel entrance where Love is currently sniffing. Duster, that is a dragon.
I don't see what else they would be. Hi, Love. Hi.
And Love has taken a couple steps back to let more light into the tunnel, and you see this baby dragon is doing like a full on body wiggle as they're looking very happily at Duster. Duster came back, and they're doing a happy like full on body wiggle.
Moria will hang behind Duster a little bit, sort of in like the tunnel cave entrance, thing.
Yeah, Duster is gonna go for a head pat, which is very comical because Duster's very small.
Love. A lot of times when Duster, each time you're in the room, Love always puts their head on the keeps their head on the ground so that way they could get head pats. And
Yeah,
and upon receiving head pats, they will Love will also scooch forward and give nuzzles.
Mario, this is a very comical scene of this giant alligator-sized dragon, and this small. Actually, he's not small to you, but to this dragon.
He's dwarfed.
This dwarfed, yeah. How have you managed to tame them? This is
I
not
did
even
not
easy.
tame. I
Hmm.
did not tame anything. Love is love, and I've just, you know, been teaching them things.
Love's body wiggle has calmed down as they have noticed Moria, and they're now like tilting their head a bit to look at her better. But they're
Hi,
staying behind Duster.
uh, love. This is Moria. Moria. This is love. Uh, Moria's going. Yeah, Moria's going to be staying with us for a while. Uh,
Moria is rolling insight on the dragon. Oh no,
that is
and doing. She rolls a nat 1 on insight on the dragon to see how they're how they're responding to this information. I
Hey,
think well, well met, love.
Love is staring at you, Moria. They are staring at you intently as they are ducked behind Duster, who is not an effective shield, but uh, they have not moved from behind the rats.
Come on, you don't have to be shy. Come on, you'll be fine.
Uh,
Moria's nice.
Have they exhibited any territorial symptoms, Duster? Moria is notably like still in the mouth of the tunnel.
Can I roll an insight both on Moria and the dragon? I'll do two separate rolls.
yes, but you get advantage on the insight on Love because you two have been spending a
Okay.
lot of time together.
Dragon.
My favoritism is showing. I'm doing love first.
That's valid.
So 17. Yeah, love is wary. It's a stranger, so, but
Nope.
they're becoming more curious the more encouraging you've been.
Uh,
Yeah, Moria is not quite certain, not quite convinced that this dragon is going to be safe for people that aren't you.
God.
This is
Oh dear.
and this is the part where Love, still slinking on their belly, is just gonna sort of like come slowly come out from behind Duster, slowly start sliding towards Moria. Just put eyes intently on this new rat.
Moria is going to look at Duster, not frantic, but not partic. She's like, what should I what should I do now? I don't like is this are they stalking me? Am I about to get eaten? I have to should I pull anything out? I am accustomed to fighting things larger than me.
Dust.
Should I fight this thing that's larger than me? Am I going to have to fight this thing larger than me?
Boop! Your thoughts are interrupted as you are booped in the chest very gently by Love's snoot.
Hello there.
Duster gives like a head pat to the side of Love's head, because Duster is definitely stepping in tune to Love and not just, you know, letting them just walk up to Moria. And like for a gesture to Moria, so sort of like, go on. Uh,
Love has not moved an inch closer. They have just very, very gently. Their snout is just barely like touching your chest, and they're just looking at you. Which I realize they would be looking up at you, but even at their size, they're still looking down at you because they're just
Yeah.
that big.
Yeah. Should
Do you want to roll
more
another insight?
I'm rolling. I want to see if I need to roll another. I'll do another insight, and then I'm gonna do an animal handling. So,
Well, with a
oh,
14, Moria, this is a baby.
oh,
They're very curious about you, and they're a baby.
alright.
They're a very big baby, but a baby nonetheless, who has met a new person, who
Oh my
looks a
goodness.
lot like their rat guardian.
They're rat dad.
Yeah, their rat dad.
Okay. I think. Oh, oh, well. Hello there, love. And she very slowly, very gently places a paw on their snoot and gives it like a couple little pats.
Love takes to this very love accepts this. Their big green eyes squint a little bit. Uh, but then hey Moria, do you want to make a deck save?
Yeah.
I think I know what's going to happen.
I'll have you know, she's old. Her dex isn't that great.
20, 21. You see
Wait,
it.
you forgot to put the you forgot to
Oh,
put the
yeah.
in it.
The
Yeah, roll again. All right. As you have placed your paw on this snoot, you notice Love's nose takes a few more deep breaths. Quite a few more deep. Wait, hold on. Are they about to? Yep. And Love basically goes and basically sneezes. And Moria, you are launched a couple inches back through the tunnel.
Moria.
yeah, I think with this
Duster.
she just lands like she falls.
Duster will go and pick Moria up. Not like, not like hold up, but like help stand.
Love has taken a few steps back and is rubbing at their nose. I did not mean to sneeze.
Oh, honey.
All right. Okay.
Are you alright?
I've had much worse. you have seen her have much worse.
Oh yeah, but still.
I'm just still a little stiff. Don't worry about it. Duster, how old is Love?
Hey Fable.
Hmm.
But does I know how old Love is?
Not exact age. You just know that Love is baby age for a dragon. Which for a dragon is probably still really old in comparison, but for a dragon, baby.
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 Very young.
I see. That does perhaps make a bit more sense then. Moria will go out of the tunnel again, where she can interact with Love a little bit more, and she's walking a lot less guardedly towards them. Apparently, Moria really likes children. This is something I've learned.
Love is waiting there expectantly at the end of the tunnel, but though they look a bit more concerned now because they just watched you get fly into the tunnel, and they're like, oh no, is new rat hurt?
Is she able to tell this without like an insight or anything?
I'm gonna give it to you.
Okay. It's like, don't worry. I've dealt with far more than a couple of falls.
And Love will their body wiggles again in happy wiggle. It's a happy body
Aw.
wiggle. Before uh, they suddenly grow excited and they stand up on all. They stand up to their full height, which is big compared to you guys, and they're gonna turn and start running further into the cave. Because if new rats here, then Love can show them all their stuff.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I think Duster probably knows what's happening. And Duster is just kind of walking towards where Love is. Usually Duster would go at his like full speed, like all fours, but also Moria doesn't do that, notably.
Yeah.
So Duster is walking at more of a Moria pace rather than, 30 feet in big size. Uh,
Yeah. um, I think, uh, uh, so do you have you worked out some sort of communication system or
I've been trying to teach them how to talk. Uh,
huh?
Usually I use speak with animals if I need more clear communication, but
Mm-hmm. I do have that one. I seems I will need to be adding another category of books to my list to fetch from the Abbey then.
Yeah. Side note.
I love it.
Side note. In terms of what languages Love knows, Love is still learning a bit of is still learning. I assume it's common that Duster is teaching them.
yeah,
Yeah.
because common is like the most, even though Duster does want to eventually move on to undercommon, common would be the most helpful to Love
Yeah.
at this current moment in time.
They're pretty good. They know a couple words. They still default to Draconic usually,
Yeah,
Okay.
first language and all that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Moria does not have Draconic, unfortunately.
I do not have
Oh.
Draconic either, so this is a situation of
Yeah.
fun.
You
I love
just get to hear me, Fable, make fun sounds into the mic.
it's a very good time.
They are very
Love
fun.
is so baby, and I love them.
Of all the characters I was expecting to become baby when I made them, it was not Love. It was not this dragon who I had made to just be like a one-off enemy for the first episode.
And then it's
I,
like, what's your name?
Yep, and now
Oh,
they're
no.
now they're Duster's child.
Now there's Dustin Child.
Duster will still refuse. Ward is very different than Child. Do not attempt to clarify it for Duster. He will refuse. He will refuse.
I mean, good luck. Hey, man, good luck having that conversation with Love. Sorry, bud. Love is imprinted.
Oh no.
Too late, bud.
Oh boy.
Uh, yeah. So yeah, I think we kind of close off, and Moria is just like, I wonder how many books we have on raising dragons.
Oh my god. Oh my god, no, oh, sorry, I'm just imagining like full-grown dragon Love with like an army of tinies on their back.
Like crocodiles when like they have like all of their little
Their babies in their mouth.
that, except it's just like cat bus tinies.
Oh my god.
I. Oh, this is great.
Ideally, they won't need to worry about community defense.
What if the tiny community just becomes Love's horde?
That would be
Oh
adorable.
god, that would.
Love becomes guardian of the Ruindall Tinies. Can that happen?
That can happen. I want that to happen, please.
I want that to happen now.
You're the DM.
Hey, that's true. I am the DM, and I want it to happen. Hey, Trad. Can Love? I mean, it takes a long time for dragons to grow up, but like, can Love be like the unofficial guard of the Ruindall Tinies?
It's
Community.
definitely something that's probably gonna have to like happen because it's gonna take a while to actually make a community. I think. But
for sure.
I love that a lot. It's really cute.
It is.
It's really cute.
That is really cute.
Oh boy. Just introduce love to more tinies, and love just grows attached to each and every single one of them.
Yup.
Uh,
You are
No,
you are all
and
in
then
love sword now.
all in love sword. Like the like imagine like the meme. I can't hold them all, but love is just like I will hold them all. Just like it grows bigger.
Oh my god.
oh god.
Cannot wait for love to grow up because love is going to get bigger.
Oh,
Each time a
oh,
tiny is added to the horde, love grows even stronger.
Love is
God,
powered by love.
yeah, then their name becomes like a whole thing because yeah.
Oh my god.
yeah. Oh god.
God.
I hold very soft.
It's so soft. I'm very glad we decided to end this FPS with love and with interactions with love.
Me too.
Yeah, love is so baby. All right,
All right.
we'll keep talking for like 3 hours.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. So thank you all for listening. We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did, and we will we'll see y'all next time. Bye bye.
Thanks for
Bye.
listening. Bye.